Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. This is a pick a deck love, romance, relationship reading. I'm doing this on January 8th, and I did a video last night, so I won't recap the astrology, but if you want to watch that, it's online. And right now, basically, Venus and Mars and the Sun are together in Capricorn. And I mentioned that Venus moves into Aquarius. I didn't bring my notebook in with me. I think on the 17th of January, the day before the new moon. And what I neglected to mention last night was that, then she will very, very quickly conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. So that's going to be interesting. So I'll have to probably do another love reading. And I wondered why. When I drew these cards, I was like, okay, cards, we just want a light-hearted romance reading. And they're not really light-hearted. They're deeper than that. And I think it's because of everything that's going on. But hopefully next time, I'm not saying these are bad, because they're not. There's some hopeful messages here. I'm going to start out with a short quote. This is from two different Rosemary Watola Traumer poems. This is just a line from one. She said, like a sentry at the gate of forever, this moment. And the other one I like is from a poem called At the End of the Year. How would the years change if we believed we were not just moving through them, but dancing? Okay, and I like this one too. In the barren branches of my fear, the chickadees come to sing. I love chickadees. Okay, so this is a pick a deck reading, in case you haven't noticed that by now. And so we have the silver key, and then I probably shouldn't have chosen, this doesn't go very well. Can you see this? This is a shard of quartz crystal that actually broke off my, and then we have the silver heart. So are those close enough? So take a moment, we'll call that deck one, we'll call it key, crystal, and heart. And I will timestamp. Oh, yeah, she said with no pen. Here I do. Okay, so I'm going to move these. You can pause it if you want to choose. I hope I can figure these out. They're really, really interesting. I'm going to start with the key. We'll call that deck number 1, but it's just key deck. And let's see, this is the Liz Green Mythic Tarot. This is the Welsh Tarot. And the third one is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Okay, so we're starting with the silver key, if you chose the key. What time is it? Okay, what time is it? Okay, no problem here. Okay, so I drew 4 tarot cards, 2 shadow cards, and an oracle card. Let's see, where can I put them where you can see them? Maybe I'll put 2 down and 2 up. Remember that old Kinks song? I don't remember the name of it. 2 up, 2 down. It hasn't got a garden, but it's got a lovely patio. I don't even know the name of that song, but I love it. Okay, that has nothing to do with reading. Okay, we start out, these cards are too tall. We start out with the Ace of Cups, which is lovely for a love reading. So this can mean one of 2 things, probably both, actually. We'll call it the inner and the outer. In the outer, it can be a love offering. It could be someone coming forward with an offer of love or romance, a gift. It can also be on an inner level, since these planets, Sun, Venus, Mars, are opposite Jupiter in Cancer, which is retrograde. It can also be just a really, almost like a deluge of emotions inside you. I'm not saying it's positive or negative, but you're feeling very emotional. And again, it can be a gift from someone else. I'm not sure. I think it might be inner, but a lot of times what's inner will manifest outer and vice versa. Then you get the Magician, which is very interesting, because this is about balancing the energies. It's about having faith in something, larger than yourself, even a higher part of yourself, or I hate the word higher, just larger part of yourself, a broader view, and you draw it down and you manifest it. He's manifesting. It's about beginning something, creating something. It can be about learning a new skill, but since we're doing relationships, it could be, the Ace of Cups can be an incoming new relationship, and so can the Magician. It can also be learning to balance your energies. It could be either one, but it's interesting. We get kind of two beginning cards here. So here comes an offer, possibly, or a new emotion. And your job is to manifest it wisely. If it's an emotion, feel it, let it be in your life. Don't just, don't ignore it. Then we get a little switcheroo here because we get the King of Swords. And this is someone who is mentally in control. He knows what he thinks, and he knows he's logical. He's very strategic, and he's very fair. He wants things to be fair. Swords are air, so they're mental activity. And this is being in charge mentally. It's not letting, it's interesting. So we get the balance of the Magician, where he's got all four of the elements in front of him. And he's channeling, but it's very balanced. As above, so below. And then we get the King of Swords, who's all about balance, but he's about mentally, thinking very strategically in this situation. What do I want? What is fair? Is this good for me? This incoming emotion, what do I do with it? What do I turn it into? So if this is a relationship, there's a lot of thinking going on, a lot of balancing. But look what we get at the end, the Two of Cups. This is a potential for an actual, offer of a relationship. Now, again, if it's inner, it can be a union of incorporating an emotion. I don't know if I need to clarify that. Let's see if the shadow cards throw any light on it. I drew these last night, so I kind of forgotten. Oh, yeah. I drew 2 sevens. We get the 7 of Cups, which is the illusion card. Now, remember, these are shadow cards. So this is something that you probably don't know you're doing, or something that you're doing that may not be for the best for all concerned. We get 2 sevens. The 7 of Cups, sevens are minor disruptors, and the 7 of Pentacles. So when I put these together, because the 7 of Pentacles is usually about, when it's a shadow card, it's about kind of stopping what you're doing. It's always about assessing what you've created so far. But when it's a shadow card, it's kind of like, it can be turning your back on something that's fruitful because you don't trust it. It could be wasting your time on something that isn't fruitful. So right now, both of these cards are stopping to consider. She's saying, you know what, I don't believe this. Is this real, or are these, they're clearly fake fruit hanging from a tree on strings. And she's stuck. She's like, I don't know whether to trust this or not. I'm hung up on this. And he's kind of doing the same thing. Is this worth it? So there's something that you've been working on that you're kind of now questioning, as the King of Swords, whether or not it's real, whether or not it's healthy, productive. With these planets in Capricorn, they want everything to be safe, productive, real, stable. But when we end up with the 2 of Cups, I'm feeling like it's a good thing. So maybe you're being overly cautious, but it's definitely calling for balance here. And then I drew a Wisdom of the Oracle card, and we get more balance, to be fair. You know what? Let me grab the, where's my book? Here it is. 38. Let me see what it says for relationship energy here. Can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective. Okay, that's the King of Swords too. Remain open and objective. I missed that part. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what this is about. So this is about being respectful, balanced, listening to the other person. I think you might even think that someone is lying to you or trying to cheat you or fool you. And whatever relationship this is, you're feeling like it's not worth your time. But I'm glad that cleared it up for me. But this is telling you to put it to the test. With things in Cancer, everything needs to be put to the reality test. Okay, that's true. But you also need to remain open and objective, which if you're in control of your thinking, that's probably very good advice, because we all need to be open and objective. So this is about being respectful and making sure that no one's pulling the wool over your eyes, but also, and I don't really see that here, it's just that I think you're a little leery. Just make sure that you're not part of the problem. Make sure that, this reading is all about fairness and balance and putting everything to the test of logic, objectivity. And again, I feel a very strong need to remain balanced, which is borne out by the To Be Fair card. So, you know what? There's a chance, though, here, whether it's an outer relationship, someone's just offered you something, or if it's an inner union of you incorporating your needs with all this stuff opposite Jupiter, there's a real possibility here for you to achieve a union of some kind. Okay, so that's what I have for the key people here. I'm going to mark that. Now, I hope that was helpful. Please leave me a comment. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And I'm going to move on to the crystal. The crystal deck, which I know you can't see the crystal very well in this color. Probably chose that poorly, but hey, I already did. So, okay, crystal. We're about 12. Okay. Put this away. So you get the Welsh deck, which I can't even think of the name of right now. The Llewellyn, of course. The Llewellyn Tarot. Oh yeah, these cards, they're... I have to say, all these readings were very interesting. I'm not great at this. I am not crafty. I do not do crafts and stuff like that. Okay, so we start out for you. We get the power couple here, kind of. We get the King of Pentacles. I'll show you these together because I think they go together. And the Queen of Wands. This is really interesting. Now, I don't know if this could be you and a partner. If you're an earth sign or if you're a fire sign, I don't know if you identify with one of these, but if they're both you, then it's about being grounded. Again, this is Capricorn energy, wanting everything to be stable and real and reliable. Okay, no nonsense here. You want something solid. And again, if this is you or someone you know, that's possible, an earth sign. I'm feeling like it's like what you want. And you want the fire, the Queen of Wands. You want to be excited about it as well. You want things to happen. You don't just want the stability. This would be my perfect... Okay, I'd have to add in the King of Cups too. But I love stability, but I also love passion. And that's what this is telling you. You want this to be... There's a lot of balance coming up in these readings. You want this, if you're the Queen of Wands or if you're the King of Pentacles, you want the other person to have as much authority as you do. So it could be two people, two very strong people, and you want both of them to have authority in the relationship, or it could be that you want stability and passion, neither one at the exclusion of the other. Okay, now, this is where it gets tricky, and I think there might be a choice involved here. I'm going to sneak a peek at your... Oh, yeah. This is... Okay, so... we get the Chariot. And in this deck, there's the two horses. So there's... You know what? Maybe there's a choice between stability and passion. Do you have two options? That's possible. That's possible. I'd say with so many personal planets in Capricorn right now, you're probably going to want to err on the side of, I shouldn't say err, but you probably are going to want to choose stability right now over passion, but I'm not sure. Because this is being torn in two directions. You're moving forward, things are moving forward, but there's a split. There's a split. One horse is down, one horse is up. It's usually one going left, one going right. I think there's a choice here. Unfortunately, maybe you don't get to have both of them. Maybe it's stability or passion. I don't know. Let's keep going. Oh yeah, you got two major arcana in a row. You get the Magician. The first deck got the Magician too. So this is about you. You are the creator. You not only get to decide, but you get to manifest what you want. So it's very important for you to know what you want. He's the conduit between the spirit realm and the earth realm, which of course are mirror images of each other, but he's in the middle. I'm gonna come back to these, but I want to look at your two shadow cards because I have forgotten. Oh yeah. Okay. Another major arcana, the Fool with the Six of Cups. Okay, this is interesting. So you are afraid to move forward with the Queen of Wands energy because of something that happened in the past. And as I said, if you watched my astrology, the Sun, Venus, Mars, and Mercury are all in Capricorn. And Venus, Mars, and the Sun are opposite Jupiter in Cancer, which is retrograde. Jupiter in Cancer is about childhood and the mother and memories, and it's a positive energy, but when it's retrograde, it really takes us back to the past. There's just no getting past that. So you are thinking of something in the past that was bittersweet. It was touching and nostalgic and lovely, but it left a lingering echo that I think is keeping you from moving forward in the present. So perhaps this current issue here is triggering something. And you're like, I don't want to go down that road again. I want stability. I want the King of Pentacles. I don't want this flare-up of passion that's going to end with me, having a broken heart. But you have so much power here. You have so much power here. Let me see what I just peeked and I forgot. Oh, yeah. You get time to go. Okay, let me read the relationship part of this, and then I will talk about it. Okay. It says, it's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. I don't see that. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it's more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Or as I wrote in one of my poems when I was redoing tea towel sayings, I said, if you love something, let it go. If it doesn't come back, it probably got hit by a car. Okay, that's not pertinent. It just came to mind. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. Okay. Do I see walking away here? Yeah, there is movement here. There is movement. There is a choice. And you know what? This could be the stagnation of the King of Pentacles. Is not inherently bad, but it could be like it's too old and tried. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I've been to the tried and true, and maybe that's where this passion's coming from. I feel like I want something more passionate. I didn't think that at first. I thought it was both, but when I get the Chariot, you're being torn in two directions, and he's pointing in two different directions, although he is manifesting. Excuse me. I really, if I hadn't gotten the time to go card, I would have said, just watch out for hesitating to act because you're afraid it's going to turn out like it did before. But when I get the time to go, I almost feel like it's saying don't jump, because you don't want it to turn out like it did before. You're going down the same old path. I need a clarifier. Sorry, but I really do. What am I going to use to clarify? Well, let me just pull another Llewellyn Tarot. These readings are just, they're really tricky. Okay, should she stay or should she go? Should he stay or should he go now? Oof, another major, the sun. The sun, okay. Venus and Mars are conjunct the sun right now. It's called Cazimi. We can't see them in the sky because they're all together. I'm thinking that this means, I think, gosh, if I didn't have the time to go card, I would say wait for clarity when the planets separate from the sun and moon. And you might want to do that anyway, give it a few days. But when I get the sun rules Leo. Leo rules the heart. I think it's saying your heart knows. And you know, wands are probably more in tune with what your desires and what you want, because sun rules Leo again, which is fire. Lula, I don't speak Welsh. I wish I did. I bet it's beautiful. I think it's saying go with your heart. I'm just going to take a quick look, since this is a different deck, just a quick look at the sun and see. Well, I should have these memorized, 19, but I don't. There's no directory in this book, so it's very hard to find something. Oh gosh, I'm way off. Sorry. Take me just a moment here. I'm sorry, I'm flipping the pages right near here. Well, not literally in here. Okay. The sun. Triumph, success, and security. Growth, well-being, and nourishment. Solutions, faith, and glory. Sincerity in love. Okay. Rejuvenation, childlike innocence and playful manner. Youth, trust, blossoming, thriving. You know, that one sentence gets me right there. Sincerity in love. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for sincerity, which could be the King of Pentacles. And if you're not feeling sincerity, if you're feeling only passion or only stability, you gotta go. Time to go. Where's time to go? Yeah. Yes, there's the key word right there. Sincerity and love. It's saying time to go, so you tell me if you're feeling it or not, but don't be a fool. Don't rush in, and don't repeat the mistakes of the past. So, okay, I hope that made sense. Please leave me a comment. I'm really curious because I found these readings extremely challenging. When I pulled the cards, I pulled them last night, and then I thought, I don't have the energy, as I had a very busy day yesterday, and I thought I'll do them today, but they're really challenging. Okay, so let me mark down the time here. All right, that was for the crystal people. Now we're moving on to the heart people. Silver heart, let me write down the time. Okay, if you chose the silver heart, believe it or not, this was on a necklace. I just wanted the leather band, but I thought that's kind of giant. I suppose it would be pretty, but anyway. I don't go in for big jewelry. I'm more of a small person, but okay. Oh yeah, these cards. These cards are so challenging this time. Wow. Okay. So the first two readings both got the Magician. Second reading got the Chariot, and you got the Chariot. Okay. Lots of movement here. Okay. We start out with the Three of Wands. You are considering your options. You're looking to the future. You're looking ahead. You're looking at your, your choices. You're also investigating your desires. What do I want? What do I want? And then in comes although he's rather stationary in this deck. Again, this is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn deck by Three Trees Tarot. In comes the Knight of Pentacles. He's the cautionary tale. So he's saying, you know, I'm going to sit here for a while and ponder. I'm going to think about this before I jump in because I'm not sure. I have a lot of options, but I really need to think hard. And I think that's wise of him because the next card is the Five of Cups, which is sorrow and regret. We don't want that. And you might be looking back, you know, again, with these, I keep saying this, but with the Sun conjunct Venus and Mars in Capricorn, opposite Jupiter in Cancer, which is our childhoods, memories, emotional needs. When it's retrograde like that, there's so much about the past coming up, and you're thinking about the past and things that were sad, things that hurt you, relationships that hurt you, and you don't want that. I mean, who does? So you're considering very carefully. There's a sad aspect to this, and there's a potential to get hurt. Now, there's always a potential to get hurt in love. I mean, when isn't there? And again, this is relationships of all kinds. So it could be family, it could be, you know, lovers, it could be siblings, it could even be a relationship with yourself, all kinds of things. And then we end up with the Chariot. Okay, so this is, generally it's, you know, the Chariot with two horses. I love these cards. I think they're so pretty. But here we have a mixed bag because we have a bird, which of course can fly very swiftly, and we have a snail. I love snails, but they move very slowly. So it's like, you know, there is a dichotomy here. Should I stay or should I go now? Let me show you the shadow cards, and you got two oracle cards, unlike the other decks. Okay, these are interesting. We get the Five of Pentacles. Now again, the shadow cards, I asked, let's see, what did I ask? I said, what are you not seeing? What are you not aware of? We get the Five of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. So this is a situation that's triggering the feeling of doing everything by yourself, for yourself, being alone out in the snow, you know, orphaned. And also, since these came out together, I'm going to say victim, the victim energy. You don't want to be victimized, and maybe you're even feeling victimized, but there's a fear of that. You don't want your options taken away from you. You don't want to choose wrongly. You don't want to choose hastily. That's why the Knight of Pentacles is here. You don't want this to turn out in sorrow. You really need to think about it because you don't want this to happen again. So let's see what the Oracle card says, because that doesn't really tell you. And you got two. You got Truth Be Told, where the heart chakra is open, and you've got to look clearly. And I will read the relationship message information from the book. And it comes up with, there's no place like home, which is actually a positive card. But it can also be a card of looking for that which makes you feel at home. And also the card of feeling at home wherever you are, no matter what's going on. You know, like I read at the beginning from that poem where she said, you know, like a sentry at the gates of forever, this present moment. This is what you have, regardless of, you know, what you want or where you're going. This is what you have now, and it's very important. So let me, where's my book? 14. Truth be told is honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, and clarity of communication. There's a lot about communication in these readings. Okay, the relationship messages. People tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. Yeah, I say actions speak louder than words. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based in your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth will be found after you communicate honestly and see how doing so has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. Getting a lot of listening lately. When I say lately, I mean tonight. I mean today, right now. Okay, just quickly look at the relationship message for No Place Like Home, even though I'm pretty familiar with the card. Essential meaning: authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, and being comfortable in your own skin. And you know, with Jupiter in Cancer like this, there's so much about self-compassion too. Okay, relationship message. Lovers, friends, and companion animals are at home in your life right now. You are in sync and full of love, and you can be secure in the knowledge that it is reciprocated. Relationships elicit a sense of emotional safety, comfort, and the best aspects of familiarity now. Be home in this relationship. Together you add to the love of the world. Okay. Okay, so it's saying that you're already there, but I don't see that. I don't see that here because of the prospecting aspect with the Three of Wands. I do see that with the Knight of Pentacles. He's very content, but he's also pensive. He's thinking. I see some sadness here, some sorrow from the past, and some indecision. So I'm not quite sure. I would say what this card is telling you is that it needs to pass the litmus test of, do I feel at home with this person or this relationship? And be very, very, very honest with yourself. I think it's more about being honest with yourself than being honest with the other person, to be clear. Because I see the potential here. And again, you know what? When you have shadow cards, this can be a shadow within you. It doesn't mean, I'm not great at holding two up at the same time, so I won't. This can be a fear. This can be a fear of abandonment. This can be a fear of being a victim. It doesn't mean that it's happening. It doesn't mean that there's a possibility for it to happen. It just means that it's a fear. But it could have also happened in the past. But there's a push-pull with the Chariot. You want to move forward, but part of you is saying slow down. So, I guess the overall message, well, you know what? I clarified for the last reading because it was so choosy. I'm going to clarify for this one, and that makes me feel bad for number one because I didn't, but who knows? Maybe I'll pull them one more card before I finish. They're probably already gone. Maybe not. Okay, so is this a fear of victimization, or is this an actual, well, there's always I suppose, I don't know. Keep my mouth shut. Okay, let me concentrate. Can you please clarify this, because it seems like, no, I can't take 5 cards. Okay, this is on the bottom and this one wanted to come out. Oh God. Oh, I thought it was 2 10s for a moment. It's not. It's a 2 and a 10. Okay, we get the 10 of Swords. I'm sorry, the 10 of Wands. You're tired. You want to put down the burden. I don't see that here, but apparently. And that was on the bottom. This one actually wanted to come out, but we'll say they're both there. And the 2 of Swords. Why are there so many choices here? Probably because we're being pulled in between Venus and Mars. You know, the sun's being flanked on either side. There's, let's see, is that the new moon? No, that's the just before the new moon. That's the end of the cycle. Where are we now? We just had a full moon. We have a new moon on the 18th. So we are actually waning right now, aren't we? Oh God. Wait a minute. We're having a new moon. Yeah, we're waning. We're waning. So we actually, it's not quite that thin yet, but we're heading in that direction. So there is a choice here. There is a choice here. So my advice is, you know, pause, reflect, be very, very honest with yourself, and run it past the litmus test of, does this feel like home to me? If it doesn't, it's probably not for you. And you don't want to go back to the the victimization and the feeling alone and the feeling orphaned. Perhaps you were abandoned at one point. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that's helpful. Please leave me a message and let me know. And just, I don't know if this matters or not, but this card is flipped up on the bottom of the deck. The Sun, which is the last reading got that too, is you know, running everything through the litmus test of your true heart. You know, is it genuine? Is it genuine? Is it sincere? So I hope that was helpful. Please let me know. This is a really strange time. I'll do another relationship reading after Venus moves into Aquarius and conjuncts Pluto. That's going to be very interesting because we're in more of an introspective time right now, although we are building a foundation for the future. So there's that, which is necessary. Okay, I hope that made sense. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and I will talk to you later. Blessings. Good night.